Well, I screwed up. Meet Karen. Okay, you might recognize Karen from a video I did a few months ago. And fact of the matter is, she is back in the salon today because I just didn't end up really giving her what she wanted. Today, in this video, we're gonna go over some of the concerns that she had with her last haircut, and more importantly, kind of address those concerns so that hopefully we can give her not only a haircut that helps her look and feel more youthful, but also that she loves. Let's read the email.
Dear Justin, here's my hair struggle. I'm blessed with a lot of hair and I'm truly grateful for it, but it also presents some styling challenges. Because I have so much hair, going too short really isn't workable. It just sticks out and gets bushy when there's no weight to pull it down. On the other hand, going too long weighs it down too much and it becomes a lot to deal with. I currently live on the Oregon coast, so there's a lot of wind and wet weather. Despite the wave and thickness, it does smooth out and lie down nicely when I put a little effort and a lot of product into it. I can straighten it fairly well simply by drying it with a warmed up smoothing extra large round brush. Not sleek like with a straightener, but enough to make it work on a busy day. And I currently use oil, leave-in conditioner, and a little wax paste. Looking for guidance here. I tried shorter, more full bangs and didn't love it. It makes me look too young and too dated. I have tried longer bangs and it can just create a flat look on top. Maybe I have too much or too little or just not the right cut for my face shape. Curtain bangs or maybe fringy piecey bangs would be good. But contrary to the way I usually look in my day-to-day life, I would actually prefer a more piecey, edgier look with bangs and around the face, but I'd really love to look a little more cool and a little less like a suburban mom. My biggest challenges with my hair are the dreaded triangle. Flat top and wide bottom around the shoulders because the crown pulls down from the weight but the bottom fluffs out. And also what to do with my bangs. I need something in the bangs area because I have a very high forehead and having no bangs makes my face shape look more square instead of the oval it is and puts the focus on my forehead instead of where I'd like to have it around my eyes and upper cheekbones. I also need help figuring out what to do with my bangs so that they might nicely frame my face and update my style. I retired from a law career last year and now have time to play and have fun and go out with my husband and would like to shift my style overall into something that really feels more energetic and fun as well. I'm not asking for too much, am I? Looking forward to seeing you. Karen.
The option number one that I have for Karen this time is that we actually get it a little bit longer, but we break those layers up in the front a little bit more, give her the bangs that she's been wanting, where there's not strong bangs, but there's some softness to the front. And then we end up in the back doing some sort of kind of internal layering that doesn't feel like layers per se, but does help to kind of offset some of the bulk at the bottom so that she doesn't get too full at the bottom and she can create a little bit more volume and movement around her face and in the top of her hair. Now, if we did decide to do this is what that would look like. If I'm honest, I don't love this idea, and the reason that I don't love it is because I just don't think it's gonna be enough of a change for Karen. I don't think she's gonna end up really happy with it. I think it'll address a lot of the concerns, but I just don't think it's gonna get us there, if that makes sense. So why am I even bringing it up as an option? Because it is still an option, and it may be that actually having a little bit of extra length might be a change that she wants to move towards, even though it seems always like taking it shorter is the obvious option to make a change. That is to make an immediate change, but that isn't always the only thing that someone might want to do to see something different.
You know, what I always wanted to be one of those girls that you see who can get out of the ocean and flip her hair back and shake it a little and go to a beach party and look awesome. I've never been that girl, but I want to look awesome. I want to look cooler than I am. I want to look younger, but not like a child. I want to look more hip than I think I actually am.
Option number two is kind of very similar to actually option number one, but we actually bring that length up this time. You address the front, you layer the front a little bit more, you connect those bangs in, you fix the bangs. You don't take a lot of length up. We internally layer it, so it's basically a one length version, very similar to this. We basically, the big difference is that we're taking some of the bulk out and we're addressing the front. The pro to this is that it leaves you some length, because I know you said that as it gets shorter, it tends to get bigger, okay? So it minimizes some of the concern of our layering, adding more bulk because you still have some weight to offset that, even though we're lightening it up. The other hair is longer and heavier, so easier to get back. The versatility, remind you, the styling is gonna be a little bit more in depth with your hair being a little bit longer, simply because there's more hair to manage.
Yes.
But the process of adding wave or smoothing out stick straight with a flat iron or adding some bigger bend with the volume with the round brush, that is all the same process, just less hair to do versus more hair to do.
Okay.
So you'd still have the versatility, all of those things. So it basically still checks all the boxes, but it would just be longer and it wouldn't be a lot different. And it likely might be too long for you because I gather that you're feeling like you just like, why didn't I just do a little bit more, right?
Yes, I did.
So now we're actually making a little bit of a change simply because we're taking that length off. But we would still do the same thing in terms of layering the front, adding in the softness for the bang so that she has a lot more movement and texture around the front, and then doing the internal layering in the back so that it doesn't feel like it's been overly layered, but still kind of helps to address some of that bulk at the very bottom. And if we did that, this is what that would look like. I'll be honest, my concern with this one is that while it is a little bit of change, because the minute we take up length, it feels like a change, I don't know that it'll be enough of a change for her. And once we bring that length up, because of the amount of hair Karen has, it's going to quickly get quite bulky. Last time where we layered it, I layered it on purpose because we wanted to take that bulk out. But this time, because we really don't want to do as much layering, I'm not sure that I can get enough of the bulk out at this particular length to really not make it feel too full on the bottom. So it might be, and I think that with the amount of styling that Karen does, even though she says she doesn't do a lot of styling, she does a lot of styling by comparison to most. I think she'd be able to get it to lay down and kind of function for her. But I think just the underlying thing is, feel like maybe she wants a little bit more change. Now, my only concern is that wanting change and being comfortable with what it takes to get that kind of change, i.e., which will be our next option, going a bit shorter, I just want to make sure that she's comfortable with that. And I don't know.
I'm feeling like what I want is not possible. I'm feeling like I'm asking for too much and I'm asking for things my hair won't do.
Let's talk about option number 3. Option number 3 is when we move into a long bob or a lob. Question I have for you. What do you hear when you hear bob?
I feel conflicted because I feel like it could look awesome and it could also look really dated, because it could be just sort of the helmet head, or it could be a little PC and cool.
There are people out there that the minute they hear bob, they're like, ew, I don't like that idea. And so, but that doesn't sound like that's you.
No, I feel like ew is very possible and also maybe not if I did it right.
Ew is based on it just not looking, the style not being right, but not like the overwhelming just idea of a bob hair.
Correct.
Now, the reason I went directly to this is because this is gonna bring that length up a bit and feel dramatically different. It's such a different hairstyle that it feels dramatically different, but it's not so much shorter actually than where she's at. So it will feel shorter because it's up off of the shoulders versus being even at the collarbone, but the actual length isn't dramatically short. So let's just imagine that she does absolutely hate it. Well, it's not gonna take her long to get back to a length that's comfortable. That's kind of why I lean towards that length range. And in that length range, what we know is we don't wanna do a lot of layering in the back. So we would be again doing the internal layering in the back or the kind of hidden layering in the back. And then we want some sort of softness. So we would keep that front stuff a little bit more layered, but not dramatically layered. So not as layered as option 1 or 2, because we need to leave that bob corner that comes forward. But there would still be some softness in the front and we would still do bangs. And if we did that, this is what that would look like. So the biggest part about this that I think would really kind of work for her, if you would, is that again, it feels like an entirely different hairstyle, even though the length isn't dramatically shorter. Now, the one little addition to this is that we would add wave to this. Instead of drying this straight, which she would be able to do, I think the combination of the length up and going into a wavy style versus a straight style would feel shockingly different to her. So it would really kind of scratch that itch, if you would, but at the same time, not put her in a position where it's going to take her years to get the length back if she does feel a little bit uncomfortable. And if I'm honest, I feel like there is a little bit of hesitation to going too short or to going much shorter than this option would be. So I'm still on the fence on this length. It may be too short for her, but working within the boundaries, I think it'd be a really, really good option. So, and the question is, what do you think? Do you think she should go with option number 1, option number 2, or option number 3? Comment below and let me know. And if you want to actually see what she chose to do, and If she actually likes it this time. I hope she does. Oh boy. Then you're going to want to wait for next week's video. Or if it's actually after next week, it'll be right here. This video right there. While you're doing that, I'm going to sit here and... You can barely see this. There's a mountain there. This view is not working for me today, but I'll tell you, that view does not suck. I'll see you next week.